Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your entire setup has changed. Not because you bought a giant PC tower, not because you spent $3,000 on a workstation, but because a tiny box sitting quietly on your desk is suddenly faster than most computers people call powerful. That's exactly what's happening right now with the Mac Mini. And if the Mac Mini M5 rumors are true, Apple may be preparing the most underrated performance monster of the decade. Most people still think of the Mac Mini as this small, budget Mac for basic users, something you buy if you don't want to spend much. But the truth is, Apple has been secretly turning this little machine into a silent weapon. And the M5 version could be the moment where the Mac Mini stops being the cheap Mac and becomes the smartest purchase in tech. Because here's what nobody talks about. The Mac Mini isn't just a computer. It's the only Apple product that lets you build your dream workstation without paying for the display, the keyboard, or the extras you don't need. And when Apple updates it with their newest chip, it's like they're giving you premium performance inside a minimalist box. And that is exactly why the Mac Mini M5 is so exciting. Let's be real. Technology has become boring. Phones get slightly better cameras. Laptops get slightly brighter displays. But Apple Silicon completely changed the game, and each generation has pushed closer to something that used to feel impossible. Insane performance with ridiculously low power usage. The M1 shocked the world. The M2 proved it wasn't a fluke. The M3 introduced a new level of GPU intelligence. The M4 showed Apple isn't slowing down at all. And now, M5 is the next big jump because it's not just about being faster. M5 is about Apple perfecting the thing they've been building toward for years, an ultra-efficient, high-performance machine that doesn't feel like a computer anymore. It feels like magic. And if you're a content creator, a student, a freelancer, a business owner, or literally anyone who wants speed without noise, then the Mac Mini M5 could become one of the most important devices you buy this decade. Now here's what makes the Mac Mini situation so interesting. Apple doesn't market it like they market the MacBook Pro. They don't hype it up the same way. You don't see flashy commercials. It doesn't get the same influencer spotlight. But that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because when Apple upgrades it with their newest chip, the Mac Mini suddenly becomes the stealth choice, the option smart people pick because they understand value. The Mac Mini is where Apple performance meets reality. Most people don't need a laptop. They need a desktop that's always ready. They need something stable, fast, reliable, and simple. A machine that boots instantly, runs everything smoothly, and doesn't sound like it's about to take off like an airplane. And that is literally what the Mac Mini represents. The Mac Mini M5 could take that and turn it into a next-level powerhouse. And the scary part is, it might still be cheaper than most Windows laptops people are buying today. So let's talk about the real reason why the M5 matters. Apple isn't just making chips anymore. They're building an ecosystem of performance. Every year, Apple Silicon gets more optimized, not just in raw speed, but in how it handles real-life tasks. Video editing, 4K and 8K exports, AI tools, multiple apps open, heavy browsing, Adobe Apps, 3D rendering, coding, running virtual environments. And at the same time, Apple's chips are becoming ridiculously good at not wasting energy. That means the Mac Mini stays cool, stays quiet, stays smooth. No slowdowns, no overheating, no drama. The idea that a small box can deliver performance that once required huge machines is still insane. And that's exactly why the Mac Mini M5 is so important. Because it's not just a new chip, it's the next upgrade to the machine that quietly offers the biggest value in Apple's entire lineup. And if you think this is only for people who edit videos or do creative work, think again. The Mac Mini is arguably the best computer for normal, everyday people who want something that just works. You can plug it into any monitor, even your TV. You can use any keyboard. You can build the setup you want. You don't pay extra for the screen like an iMac. You don't pay extra for portability like a MacBook. You pay for performance. And that's why so many people in the US are starting to say some thing that sounds crazy. The Mac Mini might be the most practical computer Apple makes. It's simple. It's clean. It fits anywhere. It could be your family computer, your work computer, your content studio, your streaming station, your gaming cloud machine. And with M5, it could become powerful enough to replace expensive desktops while staying small enough to hide behind your monitor. Now let's talk about what Apple is likely aiming for with the M5 generation. Based on how Apple has been moving, M5 won't just be a speed bump. It'll be a refinement of performance plus AI acceleration plus graphics efficiency. Because whether people like it or not, AI is becoming the new RAM. It's becoming the new GPU. And Apple knows this. New macOS features are becoming more intelligent. Applications are becoming AI-heavy. Video editors now use AI to enhance footage, remove noise, auto-caption, stabilize video, generate thumbnails, even rewrite scripts. Creators use AI for voiceovers, translations, and editing suggestions. Students use AI for study. Businesses use it for productivity. And Apple will absolutely optimize M5 for the future where your computer isn't just running programs. It's running intelligent workflows. That means the Mac Mini M5 could become the perfect AI workstation for everyday people. And here's what makes that powerful. It's not cloud-dependent. It's local speed, local privacy, local power. And we can't ignore the biggest thing that makes Mac Mini legendary: value. Apple could release a machine with M5 inside, quiet cooling, upgraded ports, better memory configurations, and still keep the price in a range that makes Windows desktops look overpriced. That's why people get shocked when they actually use a Mac Mini for the first time. They expect it to feel like a mini computer, but it doesn't. It feels like a premium machine. It feels like you're cheating the system. And if Apple brings M5 performance to the Mac Mini, more Americans will start buying it not as a secondary Mac, but as their main computer, especially because remote work is still huge and desk setups are becoming more important than ever. Now here's a question that can literally save you hundreds of dollars. Should you wait for the Mac Mini M5, or should you buy the current generation right now? And the answer depends on the person you are. If you're someone who buys once and uses it for 5 to 7 years, then waiting for M5 might be the smartest thing you can do. Because when you buy on the newest generation, you get the longest lifespan, the latest efficiency, and the best resale value. But if you need a machine immediately for work, editing, productivity, the Mac Mini already destroys most computers in its price range. That's what makes Apple Silicon crazy. Even older versions are still fast. But if you care about the future, especially AI workflows, next-gen macOS features, and long-term power, then M5 could be the one worth waiting for. Let's be honest, Apple releases products in a way that feels strategic. They don't just upgrade everything at once. They control attention. And the Mac Mini always feels like a surprise weapon, something they upgrade when they want to dominate a price segment. If Apple launches the Mac Mini M5, it's not going to be some weak machine. It will be targeted. It will be designed to make people say, wait, that costs only that much. And if Apple adds even small upgrades like better port selection, improved base storage options, or more RAM in the entry model, this machine will instantly become the #1 recommendation across the internet for anyone wanting a clean desk setup. And speaking of setups, one of the most viral trends in the US right now is minimalist desk setups. People are obsessed with clean aesthetics. A calm workspace, a cozy corner, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and a tiny machine powering everything. Mac Mini is literally the king of that lifestyle. You can hide it, mount it, stack it, travel with it. You can connect dual monitors. You can run your entire content production workflow. You can run business apps all day, and it stays quiet. The Mac Mini M5 will likely become the centerpiece of thousands of desk setups because it delivers what modern people want: power, simplicity, and no clutter. Now let's talk about creators for a second, because this is where Mac Mini becomes genuinely scary. Most creators waste money on hardware they don't need. They buy expensive laptops because they think they need premium. But here's the truth. If your work happens at a desk, a Mac Mini gives you more value than a laptop ever will. You could buy a better monitor, better speakers, better mic, better lighting, and still spend less overall than buying a high-end laptop. And if M5 delivers better encoding performance, smoother timeline playback, faster exports, and improved GPU performance, the Mac Mini will become the perfect YouTube machine. It will literally be the best budget creator workstation. Another underrated reason people love the Mac Mini: it just lasts. Mac Minis are famous for surviving years without issues. People still use old Mac Minis as media servers, office machines, home family computers. That reputation matters. And if you buy a Mac Mini M5, you're buying something that can grow with you. Today you might use it for browsing and work. Next year, you might start editing. Later you might start building a business. And the same machine will still handle it. That's why it's not just a purchase, it's an investment, especially for anyone in premium countries like the US, Canada, UK, Australia, and Europe, where productivity and time matter. Because every lag costs time, every crash costs energy, every slow export costs money. Mac Mini minimizes friction. And let's not ignore the emotional side of it. People love Apple products when they feel smooth. That smoothness is addictive. When your computer never slows down, never stutters, never makes you wait, you start expecting that experience everywhere else. That's what Apple Silicon did. It made people realize how bad most computers are. And the Mac Mini is the simplest way to experience that premium Apple Silicon performance without paying premium MacBook pricing. If M5 pushes this even further, then the Mac Mini becomes the device that makes people convert permanently. Once you experience that kind of speed, going back feels impossible. Now here's the part most people overlook. The Mac Mini isn't competing with other Macs. It's competing with the entire mid-range PC market. And that's why it matters. People buying $700 to $1,200 PCs are the main target. Those people don't care about Apple branding as much as they care about value and performance. They care about something being fast for work, school, and entertainment. If Apple can deliver M5 level performance at a Mac Mini price, it will steal customers from Windows desktops and laptops. And not because Apple is trendy, because it simply makes sense. So what should you do right now? If you're interested in the Mac Mini M5, this is the perfect time to start planning. Decide your use case. Decide your setup. Pick the monitor you want, the keyboard you want, the workspace vibe you want. Because when Apple finally drops this thing, it could sell out fast, especially in the US market, where creators and remote workers are always looking for the smartest workstation purchase. And if the leaks are accurate, the Mac Mini M5 might not just be a refresh. It might be the Mac Mini moment, the upgrade that makes people finally admit that Apple's smallest desktop may be the best computer most people should buy. And if you've been holding off because you thought the Mac Mini was not enough, just remember this. Apple is shrinking the future into smaller and smaller machines. And the M5 era may be where small machines become big power. The Mac Mini M5 could be the device that changes how people think about desktop computing. Tiny box, massive performance, quiet power, premium feel, practical price. And when a product checks every single box like that, it doesn't just sell, it dominates. So before you click away, think about this. What if the best Apple computer of the next generation isn't the MacBook Pro, isn't the iMac, isn't even the Mac Studio, but the little Mac Mini sitting quietly behind your monitor? If that sounds crazy, keep your eyes open, because Apple is about to make Mini mean something completely different. And when Mac Mini M5 arrives, a lot of people are going to wish they had paid attention sooner.